ladies, gentlemen, and all other denominations. Maybe you're a stick. Maybe you're a snake.
Or a coin.
You could be a coin. We've got a lot of fans who are coins. We're a big fan of coins. Big fans. Anyway, this is Hack the Dino's Critical Path, where we talk about little topics in the world of gaming. And this week, we've got a cracker of a topic that we want to share with each and every one of you, because there's something that you or someone you know or a place you may visit may take from it. Maybe. Anyway, tonight we are going to be talking about changes to the game industry that we would like to see. But before that, be sure to hit that subscribe button on youtube.com/hackthedino, or head on over to Twitch at twitch.tv/hackthedino and follow us there. Finally, if you want to just hear our voices, head on over to Spotify or SoundCloud or iTunes or any other podcast app, and make sure you subscribe to Hack the Dino on audio things where the sounds live. Anyway, changes to the game industry we would like to see. I've got a couple of topics here, and I'm just going to read them out, shout them out, top of my voice, and we're just going to have a little discussion about each and every topic. So the first one that I would like to see is, I'd like to see the end of loot boxes. We would all like to see the end of loot boxes. I'm not talking about DLC, but the horrendous play-to-win gachapon loot boxes, which are basically poker machines. They should at least reveal the odds of gaining an item or weapon whenever you select one, but they don't. It's completely random. You don't know what you're going to get for your money. They unbalance the game with someone who is lucky enough to get that ultimate weapon or that ultimate character, and just, makes it play to win, which is not fun for anyone. And overall, what did I say?
Play to win.
You have to play to win.
I hate playing to win.
You don't have to pay to win.
And nobody wants these mechanics, as we saw from Star Wars Battlefront 2. So, guys, what do we think on the disappearing of loot boxes?
So, I hate pay to win. I don't mind loot boxes in the fact, like with, say, Fortnite. Mm-hmm. That doesn't bother me at all. When it doesn't give you an advantage in the game, if it gives you a skin,
that's
or
fine.
just a different weapon that has the same sort of damage as a different one,
you also
I'm totally
know
okay with that.
what you're getting there. It doesn't impact the gameplay.
That's right.
And you go, right, that's a Deadpool skin. I want that Deadpool skin. Now I'm Deadpool.
The other thing is, I don't mind the reward boxes that don't give you advantages as well. So things like in Battlefront 2, when they turned it all off, and it was, you got cases and things that you could open it, and it was skins and stuff like that. That's fine. I have no problem with that.
But they aren't loot boxes.
No, that's right. They are reward boxes, I think. But they come under loot boxes.
But they end up being rubbish. They end up being, you're getting like so... Remember when we were playing Predator?
Yeah.
What's that, Hunting Grounds?
Yeah.
You're not getting so much crap that you don't even ever open or look at.
But we didn't pay for it.
It's true, but it didn't need to be in a box. What's the point of it going, you've won this at the end?
Essentially, that's making it a prize.
No, it's still using poke culture.
Yeah,
right? It's still using that element of human
psychology
to basically push you towards
playing more
for other things that are going to use that.
It gives you a little dopamine hit, and that triggers a thing in your brain that goes, "Ooh, I want to do more of that."
And guess what? You become addicted, because that's what Facebook relies on.
It doesn't bother me if I'm not paying for it. If I'm paying for it, pay to win, not okay.
But we're all in agreement that loot boxes really do need to go.
So, bugger them off.
Get rid of them.
They're for turkeys.
Okay, next one we've got here. Take more risks. AAA devs play it safe with their game formulas. They need to take a chance so we can find brilliant new genres. Genres. I'm French all of a sudden. Genres. It's what makes the indie scene so alluring and entertaining, in that they have the ability to take chances. And a good example of this, I think, is Ghost of Tsushima, because this is nothing like Sucker Punch has ever brought out before. This was a risk for them, and while it may not be a risk in regards to what the game is, it is a risk in the fact that this is a company who resides in America, who went into a very Japanese game and took what they thought would be cool, and took the cool and interesting parts of a culture and put it in a game that we're all able to enjoy. An example of this not working, as much as I hate to say it, is Death Stranding. That was a big risk taken by Kojima. It was a great game, very relaxing. Put your hands up if you finished it.
Put your hands up if you played more than 45 minutes.
I did.
I played for hours.
I played it for a good couple of hours. It's very relaxing, very zen, but it's an example of something not paying off. I just think if
I thought
the
it paid off. I just thought it paid off as an art piece. And I think he got out of it exactly what he knew he was going to get out of it. He wanted to create it, and he created it, and just like, that didn't matter to any... it still made money.
That comes back to what you were saying about The Last of Us. He didn't make it for us. He made that for him. And that's fine.
He had a story to tell.
Yeah. Going back to the Sucker Punch and the taking chances, I would almost disagree with you because I don't think Sucker Punch took a chance on a style of game. But then you clarified it. Like, they made a game that a lot of other people have made before. But then you clarified it, and it's not a game that they had made before.
Correct. This is unlike anything they've ever made.
So I'm totally... Yeah, it's a funny one because I think that the AAA titles don't actually need to take those risks because they make those games really well. But when you're talking about people that haven't made those style of games before, that becomes a risk because, do they do it well? Do they do it... does it work out for them? Is it the sort of thing that people want to see from that developer? So yeah, I go.
It's a hard one because it's such a broad topic that you could do a whole show just on that. So let's just skip to the next one.
Oh, well, Braden had something to say.
I was going to say, you saw the same thing with the PS3 generation when Naughty Dog went from doing freaking Crash Bandicoot and stuff to all of a sudden doing Uncharted.
Yeah. Huge risk for them because they hadn't done that style of game.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, not a risk in the style of game. Like, we knew that style of game sells, but that company hadn't made it.
I mean, there are still people out there doing risks. There's stuff like the Concrete Genie.
Yeah, but these are the indie studios. I'm talking about
What?
This is specifically AAA studios taking more chances. Not the smaller indie studios, but the big ass developers.
The AAAs. It's the generation of third-person games at the moment. I mean, I got my wish. Remember, I wanted more. It was all first-person shooter for so many years. I'm like, why don't we do more third-person? Suddenly, I got my wish, and now I'm like, be careful what you wish for, Dan. Now everyone does it.
Yeah,
now I'm going to say, you're right. Everything is third-person. I mean, third-person games look better than first-person. I know that's weird to say, but just seeing your character, it makes it a bit better. But yeah, let's move on.
All right, next one, digital game pricing. Now, I don't have an answer to this, but I'm just going to bring it up so we can get some more information.
We're skipping one?
No.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
did I?
Shorter.
Shorter.
This is what I'm quite passionate about.
Sorry, we'll come to digital game pricing in a minute, but shorter AAA games.
Oh my God, yes.
Recently, Shuhei Yoshida commented that AAA games need to be shorter, and I think I speak on behalf of all of us that we completely agree. Not every game needs to be a 40-hour epic to give the player their money's worth. It's quality over quantity. Wait. Yeah. Shorter, more polished games means less dev time, which means we get more quality games out quicker and reduces the need for crunch, which has been a real problem as been documented recently. What do we think of AAA games being shorter?
I'm all over this. I'm a dad. I work full time. I don't have heaps of time spare. I love games. Some of the games I've loved the most, I don't have time to finish.
But that's
them.
the thing. We are three fathers. We are three people who work full time. This isn't our full time job yet. It's up to you.
Never misses a chance.
Braden, what do you think as a young person who still has their life ahead of them?
I have more free time than you guys, but I still honestly struggle to get through stuff. Like at the moment, I'm doing a weird thing where I'm playing some other games that are in my list of my shame pile.
Yep.
Because I have Ghost of Tsushima on my shelf. I just haven't played it yet because I know I'm going to enjoy it so much that I'm willing to wait because I know how, for hearing about Cyberpunk and how big that's going to be, I'm like, God, I'm going to be playing it for the next year and a half.
I do love that moment when you've bought a game, you've got it, and you've got it out, near your console, you've got it, you haven't put it in yet, and there's so much possibility of what it could be. I like that.
It's the anticipation that kills me.
I'm in complete agreement of games, AAA games being shorter. I think a lot of the time, I don't know where the idea that games had to be 90 hours came from.
I think it was one of those things they
RPG,
so they did. And then it became a thing.
RPGs used to do it because of the grinding. Yeah. But the majority of games that are over 50 hours, there is a lot of grinding and stuff. And I think AAA games should be an experience. What is it? You watch a film, you go to the pictures, you pay $25, you watch a film.
Yep.
It's an hour and a half. Basically, if a game's $80, it should be 4 hours. You don't people go, you get your money's worth out of it. How could you not think $80 or however much a game is? It isn't it isn't 90 hours of.
It isn't $1 hour. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Also, you people will pay $100 for a T-shirt. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with 10-hour games, so I can get to the next one, and I've experienced everything that person wanted me to experience. Take out all your fetch quests, take out all your collecting seagulls and rubbish bins. I wanted to play the main game. Braden.
I was going to say, do we think this is just a side effect of like larger, like more standard AAA games and mainstream games?
Yeah, it is
taking on RPG mechanics.
It is a thing of like there are so many games out there now.
But that seems to be the flavor of the month, or
Yeah.
at least the flavor of this generation. Like everyone wants those RPG elements now. We all crave those little skill trees and power ups.
I think 20 hours is great.
I agree.
I think 20 hours is like, I'm not saying don't ever make games that are 90 hours.
No.
There just doesn't need to be every one of them.
No. I think the AAA games should always aim to be around about 25 hours or 20 hours because like they are. If you're a AAA game, you should be just a massively cool experience that the whole world wants to experience. Like, and I'm not. I mean, Cyberpunk's going to come out. It's going to be so long, and that is the one thing that's making me scared of it. If someone said to me, Cyberpunk's 25 hours the story, I'd be like, oh, sick.
Well, I mean, we've just been talking about Ghost of Tsushima. I'm still playing that. I'm 20 or so hours in. I'm still on the first island. There's 3 acts. I'm not even finished Act 1 yet. I'm not going to get Cyberpunk until I'm either bored of this game, which I can't see being anytime soon, or I've finished the game to the point where I'm satisfied, which again, I can't see being very soon. So it's in their best interest to make these games shorter, purely from a financial point of view, because it means you go out and buy the next one.
It's like they're scared to make short games now. Like Resident Evil 3 got bagged for being short, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good looking game.
I got to finish it in a normal space of time.
Yeah, you finished it.
Yeah, I finished it. Some of my favorite games have been like 8 to 12 hour games.
Yeah, Journey, I love 2-hour game.
Yeah.
Rhyme, I raved about 6-hour game. Fantastic. Brayden.
I think we're going to be getting into the reason for quite a lot of these things as our final ending point here. So I think we'll discuss a bit more then.
Okay. Digital game pricing. I don't have an answer for this, so this is an honest question that I'm putting out to everyone there. Why are digital games so different to physical games in the way of pricing?
As in they're more expensive?
More expensive or the same price? So like, I'm not being facetious. I'm actually promoting a question here that I need the answer to. Do companies wear the cost of the discs and the casing and the shipping, or are they trying to get out of us... trying to get more out of us for our convenience? Same with the Nintendo tax. Why are there more games expensive on the Nintendo system?
Why
Is
are Nintendo
it a
games
development
so
thing?
expensive? And they never go down.
No, they never drop in price.
Even when they have sales, they're still not that good.
But I'm not talking about just Nintendo developed games. That I can understand because you're playing for exclusivity. But I'm talking about games that have appeared on both the Nintendo system and on like a PlayStation. And you go to the PlayStation one and like they're $5 more expensive on the Switch version. Now, why is that? Is that a whole new... Like, did they have to completely recode the game? I'm not sure. So I guess what my point here is, can we get some definition as to why there is such a difference in price?
Do you think maybe they have to pay for the privilege of putting them onto the Nintendo site, and therefore they have to make them a little bit...
See, that's what I'm asking. No one knows. No one can give me a straight answer.
Yeah.
So not so much that I want to see these prices equaled out or whatever. I want an explanation as to why digital games are the same price or more than physical copies.
I think Nintendo is like they don't consider themselves in like the same running race as PlayStation, Xbox, well, with each other. They're kind of outside that competition, and they're their own thing. So they figure the people that are on the Nintendo side, that's an encapsulated little world, so they can go, well, it doesn't matter if the game is that much on here because they're in Nintendo world, and they'll just pay whatever it is for Nintendo world. They're in a different place. But yeah,
Nintendo World wasn't that great a game.
It was Nintendo Land.
Oh, my bad.
But it is. I don't understand why. I mean, maybe it is because when you buy a game, you're paying for the work that people put into it, not the case or how it's delivered. Maybe that shit just doesn't cost anything.
True.
Like maybe you're paying for the marketing, like a lot of that, and then the advertising they've had to do, which will be the same amount of advertising whether it's physical or unphysical.
I would say that there's more cost involved in shipping of physical items than there is in probably the production of them.
I agree.
But the shipping ones are like, but they're always the cheaper ones.
So we've just had a comment in the chat from Avimas saying a physical copy is under $1 to print for sure. Cool.
believe
If you've
that.
got a link or something like that, we could research. That would be awesome.
But I believe that like that.
Oh, I totally believe it.
Yeah.
I'd just like some.
Yeah,
Clarification.
we're actually
clarification.
asking for like
Yeah.
specific.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
like it's a good
My
question.
whole point is
We want to learn.
that isn't out there. Like, there's been no explanation from any official party as to why there's this.
What
price
about like why
discrepancy.
games are heaps more expensive just in other countries, like our country? They're heaps more expensive than our America. Like even with conversion of money and everything, we still pay way more.
Yeah, the Australia tax.
And there's no
It
reason.
has
Like
to be something to do with shipping
and
them
it's,
here, or
even if they're digital games, everything like.
Mm.
But then Steam cracked up, and then they made them all kind of good.
Okay, day one DLC.
No, get rid of
So
it.
this is for more of an image thing. Like, to me, it's just saying we had this finished in time, but thought we'd try and get extra money out of you after you already bought the game. Maybe just have it included in the actual game and raise the price. I've formatted that wrong.
I think that these days I don't like the idea that you don't have to bring a finished game out.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you should. It should be finished because like I know we can say the argument of what if someone doesn't have an internet connection.
it breeds
everyone does.
laziness.
Yeah. But it's like when did the rule of thumb come? Like we can just do a patch later, it'll be fine.
I think PS3 and 360.
well, it's even like we spoke about Halo.
Hello.
Halo Infinite with
Hello,
their
hello.
whole ray tracing's coming in an update. No,
Yeah.
bring it out now.
Make a finished game.
Yeah, like don't just
Finish
rely on
your
that.
game.
Oh, we'll do this later.
Yeah.
Like even the day one patches. Not day one patches. Day one patches are good. I'm fine with. Day one DLC. I think is a little bit cheeky, and I'd like to see that go the way of the dodo. Braden.
I saw quite a few people I don't know why I was there, but I was looking at the comments section on the Avengers
I thought you meant
reveal.
ours.
And no, ours is great. Ours is a great time. But yeah, and the Avengers thing, and the fact that they announced Hawkeye's coming post-launch, and they've got all this stuff coming up, and I saw all these people in there amongst like horrible people being incredibly rude about Kamala Khan. It was disgusting. I hated it. Just avoid comment sections in general.
Just avoid
Yeah,
gamers.
good.
But yeah, they were complaining. They were like, "Why isn't he just in the normal game? Like, why isn't he, like?"
He is in the normal game, you idiots.
Yeah, it's like, why just?
As in, why isn't he there when we start up?
Yeah, like just
Because
all of this stuff.
they're trying to show you that there will be characters coming along.
Yeah,
trying
they're
to
trying to
show
show
you
you this isn't a one and done. It's a continuous.
It's a growing.
You're not paying for it.
organism,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I see that one. I'm fine with. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mind like that style game because they want to create, and they really pushed at the start, like going and all this add-on stuff that will keep adding in is free, and that's fine. Like that's a game growing, but that's not like day one or patches and.
It's not like Destiny where you have to buy stuff every time a new thing comes out.
Yeah, I paid like $80 for the for the DLC,
was
and I
silly.
played it one night.
Oh.
That was silly.
All right, Dan, I think I want to hear from you for this one because it's something we've spoken about on the show.
I don't like season passes either.
Oh, right. Hype. Not as much hype for games. We've spoken about this many, many times, and you have been very vocal about it. So I just want you to reiterate again why hype is bad for a game.
Yeah, so hype is a bad thing for a game. I know that sounds weird as a marketing point of view, but hype is all the most hyped games are the ones that get the most ragged out and hated. Have you noticed? Like overhyped games, overhyping your game just destroys it. The most popular games that have come out recently, kind of apart from Ghost of Tsushima, then again, it didn't really have that much hype. It just its own hype. They didn't create the hype. The hype came with that one. Yeah, like how can I explain that?
It puts itself
Apex Legends.
It puts itself like the big top dog of the company, and everyone that's on the top always cops crap from everyone else.
Tall poppy syndrome.
They turn themselves into a target.
Yep.
Yeah, and like so all these people are like, hype, all this amazing stuff is going to happen. It's going to be the best experience of my life. It's going to be so good. And they get it, and it's fine, but it's not what their expectations were because the hype overrated it. And
No Man's Sky.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
No Man's
perfect.
Sky. And
Puddlegate. Like
Puddlegate.
people complained about the puddles in Spider-Man from the showing and from launch. It's like, what is that? What you're going to get hung up on? People will get hung up on the most minuscule crap. So the less hype you have, the less expectations you set. Therefore, people have lower expectations and then get blown away by.
like
the
you
final
want
product.
your game to be the game itself, to be the thing that sells your copies. Sure, do your trailer, sure, do your teaser trailer, but that's all a game really needs. Those two main core things. I hate like when there's 5 trailers of a game. So games, and so games, ones that get dropped, they're like, it's out now. No one's ever heard of it.
Apex Legends.
Yeah, they're the games that win. Have you noticed
Look
that?
at God of War. How much God of War didn't get that much hype? Did
No,
it?
it had the E3 showing where you saw Kratos was back as old man Kratos, and then that was it until the
trailer.
game. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
then
just
it
have
came
to
out,
know
and
it's
then
existing.
Freaking game of the year
It was great.
that nobody dared rag on.
And you look at Death Stranding, which had, let's
So
say, a
much
fair
hype.
bit of hype, but I think that was more...
It had heaps of hype.
external...
That had the most hype that's ever hyped.
It's not always the company that hypes it either,
No, that was...
which
that
is
was,
uncontrollable.
People were hyped for Kojima and his legacy.
No, but he hyped that because he did it in an ambiguous way.
Yeah, but that
Social
was...
media.
Videos and videos.
But
and
that was done on
videos.
purpose because Kojima Productions was a new company and he needed this to be a cash cow to fund his future projects.
Endeavors.
So,
Duke
like,
Nukem Forever.
that's why it's a very good point. Duke Nukem Forever was overhyped mess. So Kojima did it as a business transaction. I think it's the best way to say it. The game was always going to be a project that he'd wanted to make for ages, and yes, I'm sure he's very proud of what it was. But people were always going to buy it to check it out to see what he was capable of, free of the reins of Konami. What was my point? Kojima's great. There we go. That's my point. Okay, so the top change we would like to see in the game industry, better online discourse.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm
please.
talking to you, Internet.
Trolls.
So learn to move on if a game isn't for you. Don't review bomb, because we're starting to wise up to this. Metacritic, for example, now has a waiting period for being able to review games. I think you have to wait a week or 2 weeks before you can review a game. Stop sending death threats to actors and to game devs because you didn't like a game or something that happened. That's psychotic.
That's
Don't do
entitled.
it.
Is what that is.
And also, above all, remember, no one cares about you or your opinion. We're a game review show, and no one cares about our opinion. Be a nice human, and if you don't have anything nice or constructive to say, don't say anything at all. And in small notes here from Brayden, and if you're a racist, you can fuck off, which we also 100% support.
Yeah. This whole gamer culture vibe is disgusting at the moment. Like the fact, I feel that YouTube I think YouTube should not have comments anymore.
Yeah.
It should have, so you can't comment on videos at all. Like it's disgusting. It's like an outlet of racism. It's an outlet of sexism. It's an outlet of the most horrible isms.
Because you're
out
sitting
there.
behind a keyboard, you're faceless, you feel some anonymity, so you can just say and type whatever. You feel like you're a manatee, you're a big dugong with big flippers, and they just flop on the keyboard. And I hate flippers. So basically,
Be nice.
a point that I brought up earlier is that I've been doing martial arts for over 10 years, and if anyone
Hey, have you been to Japan?
anyone wants to fight, bring it on. Come be a keyboard
like
warrior.
Nintendo.
Come be a keyboard warrior to my face. Yeah, jerks.
No, don't do that.
No.
Yeah,
Is it saying that the state of it at the moment is pretty volatile and poison? No, what's the word? Toxic at the moment. It's so disappointing as well, because I've been a gamer my whole life. Like, I've been through NES, I've been through ColecoVision, I consider myself my whole life I've been a gamer, and this is the worst it's ever been.
Yeah, it's really disgusting, guys.
As soon as that, like, Gamergate stuff and all that stuff is disgusting.
Look, if you don't like a game, if you find something bad, move on. As I said before, no one cares about you or your opinions. Honestly, I mean this. Without being nasty, no one cares.
And you'll be telling them that is just going to make them more angry.
Good. But like, no one's going to listen. Just move it on. Brayden.
One thing these trolls need to learn as well is that there's a severe difference between criticism and being an asshole.
Being entitled
Yeah.
and an
Criticism is constructive.
Yep.
And has a point and gives feedback. Do that.
No, don't even do that.
No, do that.
Write it down on a piece of paper,
And then
seal it up, and then just put it in your desk.
No.
And then come back to it a day later.
Have constructive, well thought out conversations about things that you can say your dislikes and your likes without being derogatory, and without being unruly. Just do that.
just
That's
remember.
awesome. Be that.
Bingo calling.
No one cares
Bingo.
Be a
about
good
you
person.
or your opinion.
Be nice. Just be nice.
Like, just treat
Be-
people how you want to be treated.
Excellent to each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, be excellent.
Excellent to each
Do you know
other.
what else is
Do you know
excellent?
what? This is what happened. This is what happens when no one listens to Bill and Ted. This is what happened.
Yeah.
No one is being excellent to each other anymore.
Do you know who is the most excellent? Do you know how this can all be solved?
How?
Be more like this man.
Which one?
I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Oh boy, we got some Kojima news. All right, we're going to fly through this because we're running very late. Kojima's former employer, they who will not be named, has ditched the Fox engine, which was what the marvelous Kojima constructed for Metal Gear Solid 5. They will now be exclusively using Unreal Engine 5. The engine has not been updated since the two split. And look, just another sweeping of Kojima under the coffin. It's very sad.
Sweeping him under the
Yeah,
coffin.
under the rug, maybe? Or nail in the
I
coffin?
stand by what I said.
I like it.
I like another nail in the
You can
carpet.
sweep me under the coffin any day.
This week's Kojima Watch is for Dan. It came out during the week that Hideo Kojima was supposedly working on a new horror game
But
with the help of manga king Junji Ito, doing some of the sexy designs. Ito is quoted as saying, "I do know director Kojima, and we have been in conversation that he may have a horror-based game that he may be doing, and so he has invited me to work on that, but there are no details yet." However, a day or so later after this blew up on the internet, Ito clarified, quote, "In a recent overseas interview, I lightly said I received an offer to work with Hideo Kojima, but it was really a comment made at a party where he said that if there's a chance someday, he may ask for help on a future project. I apologize to director Kojima and anyone else who I gave false hope to."
Very
guy.
sweet.
I love Junji Ito. For people who don't know who Junji Ito is, he is a manga horror creator. His stuff is super indulgent. It's such a good read. He created stuff like Uzumaki, Tome, Gyo, a whole bunch more. Smashed, Frankenstein, Fragments of Horror, millions of short stories and stuff like that. He is a true genius in horror. His stuff is not like anything you've ever really read. It's real body horror. So the fact that I thought that he was working together with God Kojima, I was like, oh shit, thanks. And that's not true. But he did work together with him on PT Demo.
Yeah.
So if everyone remembers PT, it was called PT Demo,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
well,
Yeah,
PT.
PT.
Yeah.
PT, playable teaser demo. The baby in the sink that you come across, does it talk?
So
Yeah,
gross.
it does.
Yeah. That is designed by Junji Ito. So that's his kind of vibe, is this little weird.
Really disturbing.
And
It'll happen. It'll happen.
I
They know
can't-
each other.
the idea, right, that Kojima could possibly make a Silent Hill game, it's so bonkingly good to me. And then the fact that if he's working with Junji Ito is like the next
Dan would
level
be
of
spent.
crazy. Because I love Silent Hills. I love getting the new Silent Hill game, not knowing what kind of weird, twisted fantasy like roller coaster they're going to take me on. And the fact if there was a Kojima attached to it, there would be Easter eggs in there. There'd be bloody Kinder Surprises. There'd be everything. And then Junj would come in and you bloody
Burst out of the-
spiralize out your eye and then put it into your mum's head.
You'd unwrap that Kinder Surprise and it'd just be a deformed fetus. Finally, to wrap up Kojima Watch, Kojima has a new book. Well, it's a Twitter book. Okay, it's Kojima's Twitter. And he's answering your questions each and every day. Yeah, he's decided that each day he's going to answer a question on Twitter. So
Just keep asking him, are you working with Junji Ito? Everyone.
Every day.
I don't know if we got a screen grab of this at all, Brad.
No, I didn't grab it.
No, we
sorry.
didn't. You go back through his timeline, you can see he explains it, and in typical Kojima fashion, it's like, "Oh, what's your favorite color?" And it's a 20-paragraph photo of his description of how it reminds him of the summer in France where his father took him fishing one time.
I'm going to ask him for the perfect omelette recipe.
You don't do that.
Don't, no.
Get better answers.
Yeah. Hey, it's time for Dan versus the world.
Dan.
Versus the world.
Every time.
Time for Dan versus the world, where I have 3 songs from video games history or video games future. Dan, representing Dan, has 5 questions to try and guess where those songs come from. And he's up against the world, represented by Braden and Floppy, who also have 5 questions. We'll go back and forth between the two so they can Little Dan. They can work out where that song came from by asking questions.
That was
Whittle?
my nickname in high school.
Little
Dan.
Dan.
Oh, because you were tiny.
Yeah.
When
Tiny
he
boy.
was, he still is.
All right, here we go. First song. Everyone now.
Sitting with my woman, 'cause she doesn't help me with my mind.
What the hell is this going to be from?
Well, I can tell you what the song is, but
By the way, I don't know the lyrics to that song. I was making them up. Question number 1,
you
Dan.
are pretty close.
What console is it on?
Super Nintendo and Mega Drive, I believe.
Okay.
World, question number 1.
What kind of game is it?
It's a racing game.
Okay.
Song number 2.
Song number 2?
Question number 2
Every
of
time.
that song.
I was just waiting for the song to start. I can know this one already.
All right. You're going to take a crack?
Because I've got this game.
Go on.
And is it, should I get...
Go on.
when I-
We're running late, so if you got it.
Is it Rock and Roll Racing?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there's no way it couldn't have been.
Whoa, but Dan, that puts you on 25 and the world's on 26.
Braden, that was Paranoid by Black Sabbath, sung by Mr. Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, that game is like, because I played that and it's like, like, it had the commentator. It was such a good game. Like,
Fun fact, you can, if
he's
you
in another time zone.
scour the internet somehow, you can probably find an unlisted video of Hack the Dinos where we do a crap game review for it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we grabbed it off the shelf.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Song number 2.
He knows it already.
Dan, question
Man,
number
I
1.
don't know what it is.
This is shit.
I don't know what it is.
Hell was that?
What genre of game is that?
It is a survival horror.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, question number 1.
What bad guy are you up against?
No.
Oh, Google machine.
I can't forget his name. It's not.
So it's a him.
You're trying to think of what?
I can't remember his name. It is.
Do another question.
Oh fuck!
I
It.
really
Wesker's in it. There you go.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't remember what.
That could be one of the
I
many.
think it's Tyrant. I think.
Tyrant.
But I'm not sure, so I can't.
I don't know what ones are what in that franchise.
I'll ask a question.
Yeah, I am. What was it? What console? Did we ask that?
No.
No, yeah.
What console is it from?
This particular one came from PlayStation 1.
Do you want to answer it, Braden?
No. I honestly still don't know it. So I know the franchise possibly from. I'm taking in context clues.
It was Tyrant in more than one.
What's like a token weapon from it?
A gun.
I mean, what, like, specify a gun.
A shooting gun.
No, specify a weapon.
Rocket launcher.
Okay.
Dan, question number 3.
So Tyrant is T-Virus, isn't it?
I believe so.
Which is the first game. It's Resident Evil 1.
Yes, it is. Oh,
Well done.
Dan,
Well done.
26 all.
Have I got
Tied
them
it
all?
up, folks.
You are sweeping. Whew. My
Saying I
goodness.
knew that one.
Well,
I
why
just,
didn't
I just needed to get to me.
You should have, like,
All right, well, we're all tied up at 26 apiece. Let's see who's going to go into that fair evening with a win. Here we go.
I feel like I'm letting people down. I know this piece of music, Braden.
Question number one.
I hope you
Yeah,
fucking
you really
do. My
should.
God.
No, but I can't remember where I know it from.
That's the angriest I've ever seen
My
him.
God, I'm offended on behalf of the man himself.
Question number one, Dan.
I don't know what it is.
Really?
No?
Braden's leaving.
Oh, my heart. My little, 1997 heart.
All right, Dan. Question number one.
1997.
Is
Is that the year you were born, Braden?
Yeah.
That was a clue to the game. What is the type of controller that you use?
A PlayStation 4 controller.
Okay.
World?
What main form of movement do you have?
Walking?
Okay. I just want to double check that.
Okay.
There's one game that wouldn't have worked with that. So.
Right, okay. Question number two, Dan?
Will this game come out on PlayStation 5?
No. Well, it might.
It's a
but I
great
doubt it.
question.
Depends how backwards compatible they are.
But
Okay.
you know what I mean.
Question number two, World?
Floppy, do you want to ask any clarifying
Have
questions?
you sound like you've got it more nailed in than I do.
I've got a bit of a vibe for it, but I want to see if you can throw a general question that won't help Dan, but will help me.
I don't know
What
what
would
it is.
be... No, that won't help Dan, that will help you.
Help me help you.
To help me. Help me.
I want you to want me.
Come on, mate. Get
No,
it.
because I've got to be really... Because if I ask a stupid question, you're going to get it.
Me, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's
What
why
year
I
was it
want-
released?
The game?
Yeah.
2018. 17.
Okay.
Oh,
2017 /
That's
18.
too-
All
different
games, all games like recent to me, all just sound like orchestral pieces, so I can never distinguish
did that
them.
help you, Braden?
Yeah.
Question number three.
All right, I'm going to ask a cool question. What is the main protagonist's weapon, if he has one?
You talking about the campaign?
Campaign or the multiplayer aspect?
I don't know.
Either way,
Both.
blasters.
That is Star Wars Battlefront 2
Correct.
2018.
Yes. Braden pulls one back for the world.
I thought it was Ghost of Tsushima at the start.
Oh yes, that classic Jewel of the Fate scene where
Jewel of the
Jin
Samurai.
pulls out a
Jin
lightsaber.
lightsaber.
Oh man, can someone please put lightsabers in Ghost of Tsushima?
As a
Because
mod.
I would be down for that.
Mod it.
So
That's
I
what-
just
isn't
didn't
that what
know,
samurai
Braden,
swords are?
which one it was.
No, so straight up, I always wanted to clarify whether it was Star Wars Episode 1 Racer or if it was Battlefront.
Battlefront 1 or 2.
It's the little sting when you have Darth Maul enter the match.
Yeah, because it's Duel of the Fates. That's when Darth Maul appeared at the
Yes,
end of Episode 1.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the end of that series of Dan versus the World, Dan's on 26 and the World's on 27. Dan, you caught up big time.
That's the best
I
word.
felt absolutely useless tonight.
That's
when it
how.
comes to-
Welcome to how I feel every week.
Braden, do the thing. We've been Hack the Dino, and this has been our critical path and video game news. We like to talk about things, but this isn't the only thing that we do. We have side projects as well as this. Dan, what's one of your side projects?
One of my side projects is TerraVision Horror Podcast. You can check us out on all major podcasting services where me and Jennifer, the Dream Warrior Strand, get together and talk about horror films. This is an audio podcast. We also have it's on YouTube, but it's just an audio podcast. So go over to YouTube, if you like it, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a star, give us a comment, go on to the other things, do all those things. We really appreciate it. We've just started up. We're up to episode 12. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's awesome. Floppy.
You can come over to Instagram, check out Floppy Plays Games, where you can look at the stuff that I spend all my money on and then take photos of and then show you, and then sometimes try and find time to play them as well.
And Millennial Falcon, what have you got?
Millennial Movie Talk. Millennial Movie Talk, not just one millennial. Well, there's four of us, but it's a movie podcast.
Hey, stuffing up your lines is my gig, all right? Don't go...
I can tread on some feet. It's fine. Millennial Movie Talk. It's a movie podcast. We talk about the movie news, what we've been watching lately, give some reviews on some stuff, and you get a bit of banter between me and my friends.
And you can also head on over to Retro Trigger Podcast, where you can hear me talking to people and interviewing people about all things retro. We've spoken about Transformers Gen 1 with Sean Fuster. We've spoken about Super Nintendo with this dude. We've talked about Dragon Ball Z with that guy. Coming up next Friday, or actually, no, it'll be yesterday, so it's out now. You can hear me talk to Dean Rankin, who is the illustrator for some of the Simpsons comics.
Oh, I'm looking forward to listening.
He's also done some Futurama. He's also done some Rick and Morty. So that's really, really cool. We talk about Simpsons Season 5, which is scientifically proven to be the best season of The Simpsons.
Is that the Bear Baron one?
No. That's not in that
Are you
season.
sure?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure it is.
What's the best episode for that season?
Is the Scorpio one in it?
Monorail.
Oh, done. Yep.
Yeah. We are also, who have we spoken to? We've spoken to Ben from Toy Power Podcast. He spoke about He-Man, and we've spoken about Nintendo 64 with Mr. A-Game. They're coming up. It's a monthly podcast, so there's only about 3 episodes up now. But make sure you search Retro Trigger Podcast. You can get it through this feed if you press subscribe to the podcast feed here at Hack the Dino, or search it to get the other feed, which I'm just trying out because it's for reasons you don't need to know. Why are you bugging me, man? Back off. Anyway, if you like this, you can also become a Patreon. Dan, do you have some Patreons you would like to thank?
Well, I would love to do that. So thank you to our beautiful top tier Patreons, where you get mentioned at everything we do. So thank you to Sam Beard, thank you to Todd Randall, thank you to Tommaso, thank you to Mike Town, thank you to Karen Knight, thank you to Aaron Knight, thank you to Dylan Stevens, and thank you to Cullen Budd. You guys are our buds.
Top peers.
Top bud.
Top the
buds.
best. You're the number one buds. You're that great bud. No, that
That's what we're
skanky
going to call you guys, Dino Buds.
buds. No, they're Dino Riders.
The Dino Pals.
You can
The
ride
Dino
us.
Riders.
Dino
is pretty good.
Sauces?
They're Dino Riders.
Dinosaur.
Doesn't matter.
Dino
Keep going.
Shut up, Floppy. It's
Dino-
Dino Riders.
Dino.
Kill his mic.
Di-
Anyway, you can also see us on youtube.com/hackthedino, where you can subscribe and you can share us with likes with these things. Be sure to do that. When this goes up, be sure to tell your friends and get them to come over and subscribe as well, because that's how we grow. We're over 100 episodes in now. We'd really like to grow more and get more people to watch our content and hopefully enjoy the entertainment that we put out there. And lastly, be sure to subscribe to us over on iTunes, other podcast things. I don't know.
But
It's been
also,
long.
If you like to watch us live, head over to Twitch and YouTube, where we do a live show every second Friday, and you can join in the chat and join in, talk to us, and stuff like that, which you don't get in these VODs that you're watching now.
Boobs.